let's go on to the next thing. Okay. The next trailer that we're going to look at is the cinematic trailer that they did for Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is set to come out November, actually. Let's see here. It's set to come out November 17th. Actually, November is going to be pretty busy for EA this year because Need for Speed Payback is set to be available for early access on, let's see here, EA Origins. November 2nd. So usually the early access people get it for about a week before it hits retail. So that one's going to be hitting retail just a week before Star Wars Battlefront 2. So hopefully this stuff doesn't get so lost in the shuffle where it's like, well, these titles underperformed. Look, EA, if that's the case, just figure it out. You're loading these things way too close to each other. Okay, especially in the holiday season where everybody has their shit out. So,
yeah,
I mean, look, obviously with these particular timelines, you're not going to be able to bring them out early because that's going to hit the quality of the games probably adversely. So, if one of these has to wait a few months until like 2018, I won't mind. Just saying that out loud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. With that, let's go ahead and let's look at the Star Wars Battlefront 2 trailer. This one was only about 2 minutes long. And then during the actual E3 conference themselves, they did a full playthrough of a mission campaign, multiplayer mission campaign that took like a full 20 minutes or so, almost 30 minutes as far as gameplay went, which looked pretty dope. And I really don't know what system they were using to run it to because it was really fucking busy and it was running at 60 frames.
And it was smooth.
Yeah, it was running smooth. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty consistent between 50 and 60 frames from what I saw. There was probably a few areas where it dropped to around 30 or maybe a little bit lower, like when they were fighting in the office, in the throne room and everything. But you know, that's not anything that we see right here in this particular trailer. Let's go ahead and look at the trailer right now. All right. And we'll go ahead and we'll start it up in 3, 2, 1, play. All right.
Oh, man. Stormtroopers.
Yep. There it goes.
Ooh, look at the graphics. Look at the graphics.
Oh, there's episode 1 stuff. We got droids.
Yep.
Lots of droids.
Oh, wow. Look what... That's busy.
Yep.
And that's really busy.
You know what? Their trailer is only running at like 30 frames per second. Here's the thing that I gotta say, folks. When they showed off the gameplay was showing up at a lot faster clip at full 60 frames. Yeah. This is only showing up at like 30 frames.
Oh, damn! There's old boy, man.
Oh, and they showed him in the multiplayer part of him tearing people up.
Tearing people up with that light set, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Oh, it looks like the jump
troopers, yeah.
Nice. It looks like a little bit of arrow.
Hey, we got Chewie there.
Yeah.
We have Boba Fett, Yoda, and... Oh, hey, look.
What do you know?
We got Rey and Kylo.
Look, I want to get in one of those X-Wings, man. I'm sorry. Look. Millennium Falcon? Yes, thank you. Oh, that's... Whoa. Wow.
Yep. Awesome. Wow. Yep. I gotta say, I'm rather impressed, to say the least. And that's not something I gotta say, you know, really that impresses me too much.
Yeah, you don't say that, especially EA of all, you know.
Yeah.
EA's been the evil one, the evil empire, quite literally this time.
Yeah.
For me, I like how they integrated, you know, some of the movies, and what was nice is I've been dying to get in an X-wing and fucking just fly around and shoot down TIE fighters or whatever. Yes, please. That's you know, I don't know if you could drive the Millennium Falcon or not, but it's yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'd have to say that one of the things that I gotta say with this particular one is that. Oh man, I gotta keep on emphasizing this, but when they showed the actual gameplay itself, it was impressive. And the thing is, I'm really not somebody who gives a fuck most of the time about, like, you know, these huge multiplayer games. But for as busy as it was, as much stuff as they had on screen and everything, it was impressive at the fact that they had so much going on and it was moving at a full 60 frames per second. All right, it just when it comes to resolution over frame rate, I'm a frame rate guy first. All right, but what they had showing on the live stream, it looked awesome. Okay, and it was very busy, and they were switching back and forth between the people on the ground and the people in the air. You know, that were running like air support and all of that. And yeah, it was running really fast and really smooth.
What was very interesting to me too is that even before EA's E3 was that they had a trailer out before that, right, where they saw the Death Star blow up and one of the Separatists, you know, took off their mask and whatnot, and we just saw her again.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting to me. What's very interesting to me too is that it seems like you could get into the AT-ATs and the other, you know, you know what I mean? The other empires. What do you call it?
What they call them? They call them the AT-RTs, which were the small walkers that they were running around in. Yeah. And it looks like, as far as it goes, they said that. This is the one thing that a lot of people were asking for with Star Wars Battlefront 1 was that they were like, well, is there a single-player campaign mode? You know, something that helps us tie things together. According to them, there's going to be a huge campaign mode that, just like Rogue One went ahead and it bridged the gap between, let's see here, Episode 3 and Episode 4, that they're going to have a campaign that's going to bridge the gap between... let's see here, Episode 7 and Episode 8. So, I don't know if it's going to be... Actually, you know what? Now that all the stuff that's licensed under Disney is going to be considered canon, guess what, folks? It's going to be considered canon. So...
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting.
Like you said, when we were watching the gameplay video after EA's conference, we were watching, 15 minutes of it?
Yeah.
And, I mean, one issue that I have is how are they going to balance this game? Because, I mean, Darth Maul he was, dude, that guy was mowing down everybody, and he was the MVP, you know? So, and, you know, we did see, Jango Fett, right?
Yeah, Jango Fett was there. Also, who else showed up? Rey showed up, and, Han Solo showed up during multiplayer. Yeah. So it looks like during the multiplayer scrums, whenever you're performing, depending on how you're performing, you unlock points. Okay, so just like what was that?
It's like the Call of Duty stuff that when you're playing the Call of Duty game and then you get a certain amount of points and you could get extra stuff.
Yeah, you could purchase perks and other things like that. So
I don't like that, man.
So one of the things that they have with that, it looks like one of the things, if you have enough points, you can purchase heroes to use outside of your general classes that are available on whatever side you're playing, okay? Because when it first showed everybody playing, they were either playing separatists or droids, okay? And then after a while, you know, the separatists and the droids, they all started unlocking things to use, you know, further into the battle. So it looks like it starts rather small, but it really depends on, you know, how well you're doing in the game. If you're a real superstar in the game, you could get to the point where you end up, like we said, with the guy who was playing Darth Maul. You know, once he went ahead and he had Darth Maul, he not only was the MVP, but he also had like the highest kill number. So yeah,
7 or something like that. Yeah,
that's
right.
So he definitely went ahead. He was like put in the most work out of everybody on that freaking campaign.
I am for those type of games, but like I said, you know, EA's got a lot to work, I think, to balance that, because I mean, if you start unlocking all these characters and stuff, you know, that are overpowered. I mean, it's got to be a point to where I just hope it doesn't, by unlocking that particular character or whatever, that it completely turns the tide of the battle to the opponent, and then there's no coming back from it. I like a game where, especially multiplayer games, where every side, you do get these perks for having whatever you level up or whatever you do, but not so much that it changed the complete outcome of the game that the other side has no chance of winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a balancing act, and you know what? That's going to be something that's probably going to be, something that they're going to struggle with, even after the game is released out.
Oh, yeah.
Like we said, this particular one, Star Wars Battlefront 2, is set to release out November 17th this year. I gotta say, overall, EA, their press conference and everything, a lot of stuff was par for the course. Things that we expected to see. Like, all their yearly sports titles and things like that. And, there was a lot of stuff that they said that they were actually going to let Microsoft show off tomorrow during their particular conference. So, this particular one, I got to say, was actually kind of impressive. And there's not too many things that I'm very excited about, that come out of EA, just to be completely honest. But with the things, the brand new IPs that they announced, A Way Out, Anthem is a curiosity. That's something that is still years away. So I'm glad that BioWare is still doing stuff. All right. A Way Out looks really, really interesting, especially since they emphasize co-op, local co-op, couch co-op with buddies, right there. All right,
side by side.
Side by side. And then the fact that they brought back Need for Speed and they are putting real efforts into Star Wars Battlefront 2, it's rather refreshing. I gotta say that if this is what they're setting up as their release, though, if you think about it, that's only 5 games? Here's the thing that we got to think about, okay? Just to kind of wrap up our thoughts, is that that's not a lot of games coming out or being announced by EA, if you think about it.
Well, I mean, if you include the sports sides of the house, that it brings it up to 8 or 9 games, and that's what they were saying before E3. They said they got a couple. They got 7 games that they're going to show off. 2 of those games were going to be original IPs. Yeah, and so it's pretty much as was, and that's what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting anything really, a lot of games. I knew it was going to be sports as part, And I think, just speak of that real quick, I think the, what is it, Madden 18? I think that one's actually going to take a page out of FIFA 18 and have that what you follow one person on from being a college student up to the highest level, in competition. Yeah. So that was going to be interesting. So if I were to grade EA's conference this time, I would give it about a B plus to an A minus. It's around that. But I mean, because I have to give credit where credit is. They came out with 2 IPs, new IPs, and then on top of that, they came out with a game that people's been asking for some time now. I thought it was about time that Need for Speed came out, or I like to see old IPs brought back to be even better than what they were before. And like you said, it is par for the course. I think the sports part drug it down. I'm not a very big sports game player, but there are those that are. But, I just feel that some of the sports games, that maybe they should take a break from those. But then I'm thinking that once Xbox's Xbox conference comes out tomorrow, I think there's probably going to turn into a games for service for sports. I mean, that's perfect. We had a video about this before, and I think that's something that Microsoft made, that EA wanted Microsoft to push. I mean, that's just my opinion, because EA's been in bed with Microsoft for God knows how long now, and I still really think that is what's going to happen. This may be the last quote unquote numbered Madden, numbered FIFA, numbered NBA, that they're just going to do it like a game as a service. And
Yeah.
so if I would grade this whole conference, I'm pretty impressed. This is much better than last year's EA conference, hands down. So that's why I got to give it like a B plus to an A minus. I'd give it an A minus. It's just, I was impressed with some of the 3 of the games, you know.
Yeah.
4 of the games.
I gotta say that if I were to grade them, you know, I wasn't really planning on doing this, but if I were to grade this particular press conference from EA, I'd give it an A minus. Also, solid effort. Look, I'm going to say this right now. If it hasn't been obvious throughout this particular video that we're doing, I'm not the biggest EA fan. All right, you know, I have my own gripes with them that isn't related to the quality of their games, and then I have gripes with them that is related to the quality of their games. And to tell you the truth, whenever I see them coming up for a press conference around E3 time, I'm never expecting a lot. But I gotta say, you know, out of the 7 games that I saw that they went ahead and they announced, okay, you have 4 of them that catch my eye and make me go, oh, that looks really interesting. That is a lot. That's worth a lot. Okay. Yeah. Especially when it's just, you know, coming to this particular platform and talking about it. You're getting people talking. They're starting the hype up. Okay. A lot of these games we're going to see by the end of this year. So, which is phenomenal. We don't have to wait a long time for the majority of these games. The other thing that really impressed me about this particular conference is that in comparison to last year, where last year I think it was like 70% talking and only 30% actually showing games, the split on this one was closer to around 50-50. Okay? Yep. And yeah, you know, they're obviously confident about Star Wars Battlefront 2. I really didn't care about it that much, but from what I saw, impressed the shit out of me. It really did, especially considering that, hey, look, it's still coming out, you know, 5 months away from now, okay, and there's still a lot of time to go ahead and fine tune and tweak things to make sure that it's all polished by release. You know, I'm hoping that things go well for it. I really do, and the fact that, like I said, all of the licensed Disney stuff, you know, everything that's going forward since Disney got a hold of the Star Wars license is now considered canon. What happens during the campaign mode is actually going to be very, very important if you're somebody who cares about the Star Wars lore. All right, so that's extra geek points right there. Okay. Yeah. Was there any other thoughts that we had on this particular one, or are we at a point where we could wrap this one up?
Well, yeah, I think we're at a point that we could wrap it up. So, for me, very, very good. EA, congratulations. This is how you fucking do a conference. You have people talking. You have people interested in your IPs, especially your new ones. Some of the old one is coming back. Very good. This is what we want to see. Yeah. We want to see this type of stuff. Keep doing this shit. And like throughout the week, I'm sure there's going to be other things that are, you know, we gain more information on things. So, congratulations, EA. This is a great start for E3 2017. Bring it on, guys.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Grey Mouse. You know, like I said, I'm not a big EA fan. I don't care for a lot of their products personally. But if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna present me something that's gonna get me curious about it, that actually, you know, and not only curious, but you're getting me curious enough where I could talk about it for like almost 30 minutes on end. You've done something right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way that I've got to say it. But what we really want to know is that if you've come all the way up to this point, folks, thank you for very much for you know, following us all the way to the end here. What were your thoughts on EA's press conference? Okay, what are your thoughts on our views for the press conference? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Do you think we're full of shit? We want to know. You can go ahead and let us know by clicking below, leaving us a comment. While you're at it, mash on that like button, mash on subscribe, especially if you like what we've offered here, you know, and if you feel like sticking around, we highly encourage it, okay? Because the thing is about this is that these particular videos, it's not just us talking. We're hoping that every comment is the start of a brand new conversation. Yep. And like we say, with every good conversation, it doesn't matter if you agree or disagree with us, as long as at any point in time we make you stop, listen, and actually consider what we're saying here, then we know we have accomplished a lot more than you could ever imagine.
Yep.
All right? With that, we are the Middle-Aged Guys. I am the Reverend.
And I'm Grey Mouse 1.
Thank you very much, YouTube. We will see you later.